Now on up close, after 9 years as a Chief, he bailed for the Broncos, and he's finally made it to the Super Bowl. All-Pro defensive lineman Neil Smith tells us what it's like to play with Elway instead of against him. Also, Bruce Smith of the Bills will be here a little later. First, we welcome former Chief, now a Bronco. He'll be busy in Sunday's game, defensive end Neil Smith. Nice to have you on the show. Thanks for coming by on what is a very big week.
Very much. It's good to be here, and anytime you ask, I always come and try to just serve you.
Well, a long time, 10 years in the league. This is your first shot at the Super Bowl. You've been to an AFC Championship game before this year. Does it feel any different? Has it sunk in yet?
Well, it has sunk in. I really I had a great feeling when we won the the AFC Championship game and had that feeling to being a champion. But it's not done yet unless you can win the big one, and this is why we're here. And the approach to this game is very important to me, and it's important to our ball club to try to win this ball game.
I know Mike Shanahan gave the team Tuesday off. Media day, your first Super Bowl media day on Tuesday. What was that? What was the best question you had, or the weirdest question?
Well, they always have weirdest questions. I mean, I think probably the weirdest question is, I keep telling people about Kansas City, and am I going back? And a lot of questions be brought up like that. But the main thing is that someone would ask that question, and then I'll tell them that, I'm really going to wait until the season is over to make a decision what I'm doing. I'm happy here in Denver, and then come right back with the same question. So,
again, well, because you'll be be a free agent after this year. After 9 years in Kansas City, you signed with the Broncos, and so some felt that your heart was still in Kansas City. I know you have a lot of roots there. Your wife's from there. You have a restaurant there.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I really enjoyed Kansas City. I think that I've done some great work for the ball club. And
but it was a bitter ending, though. You felt that you weren't treated well at the end when they had the chance to re-sign you.
Well, I did. I think I wasn't getting a fair shake in hand, and it really hurt me to happen to leave, and it did not want it to leave, but then those things happened, and I really felt like it came to an end, and once it did, I kind of looked myself in the mirror again and said, okay, well, let's move on to the next thing. What's going to be in store for Neil Smith since it's not working for me in Kansas City?
Did the Chiefs tell you your best days are behind you?
Yeah, Marty had mentioned to me that as a staff, they felt like my best years was behind me, and they feel like, that I was peaking a little bit. So that was a ruling wake for me, because I never felt like I was actually giving up, or I didn't go out on the field and pour out 100% for a ball club. And it was good for me this year to come back and to regain myself and regain the comfort zone that I was in. And once you get out of the comfort zone, it makes yourself feel better as a person to get back into the groove of things.
8.5 sacks this year, and you're in the Super Bowl and beat Kansas City on the way to get here. Did you get the last laugh?
Well, I wouldn't say the last laugh, but it was a great feeling. I mean, I think that the NFL becomes a business, and people don't understand that, some players are going to be leaving now and going to other teams, and it's such a sad that, you've been there for so many years and then you have to go somewhere else. But everything has worked out well for me. I go on the free agent market, I find a new home, and after I find a new home, I just, I get very comfortable, and then the next thing you know that I go into Kansas City and win a big ball game, which is, they was the best team in the AFC. To beat them at home in a very hostile environment, I've been there, I know how it is, and it was great for our ball club, and it was great for me.
Yeah, you had 2 sacks in that game, the road win on the way, again, to the championship game with Pittsburgh, another road win to get here to the Super Bowl. When you went back to Kansas City, the fans, were there things said, were there racial remarks that cut deep with you?
It was. That hurt me more than anything, that the racial remarks that they gave to the restaurant about burning it down, and the racial remarks that the comments that they made in the paper say, well, we ought to give Neil Smith, a warm welcome, if not putting his place out of business. That was unprofessional. I mean, this is a bunch of grown men that's playing little boys' game, that's making money, and we just trying to, get ourselves prepared for life. But I think it becomes a cutoff point where it just actually it shouldn't be necessary.
Does that kind of behavior make you doubt if you'd ever go play in Kansas City again? Is that where you'd say, I'm not going to go there, or you may be doubt whether you want to remain there or live there, even in an off season?
Well, I'm not scared to go back there. I feel like Kansas City is very comfortable, and there's no reason why I should pick up and run because of those acquisitions that was said. But I think that my family is there, and the place of business is there. I have to go back. So I just want to go back. It would be nice for me to go back being a world champion. That's the most important thing.
All right, we'll talk more about that with Neil Smith of the Denver Broncos. We're going to ask him what it's like to be Elway's teammate instead of chasing after him. But first, his thoughts on Brett Favre. Favre as well, somebody he'll be trying to slow down on Sunday. Up close from San Diego continues with Neil Smith in a moment. You just a little bit closer to the game and to the players in the game. Thanks for staying with us. We're talking with Neil Smith of the Broncos. And on Monday night this year, Bronco 49er game, Bill Romanowski fined $7,500 by the league for spitting in the face of J.J. Stokes. Now, some Bronco players said if he were a black player, things would have been more severe. And the team had a meeting. What was the reaction in that meeting?
Well, I think the reaction was, I think that the media and the way it was said, being a racial remarks, is that it really tried to divide the ball club for what it is. Did
it divide the team? Were there different views on this?
It was different views. It was different views about it, but yet, as veteran players, we have a veteran team. We had a meeting where it sat down and just stated that guys stood up and said, hey, you know, don't let them take us out of the focus that we're capable of doing.
So it was a rallying point almost.
It was a rallying point. I think it was very much a turning point because the distraction is something that Mike have always stressed to the ball club throughout the years. You know, you're going to have these distractions. Don't let them interfere with it. I think we handled it very professional. Romanowski, you know, apologized, and then yet, you know, there's people feel like he never got fined enough. But I really don't think it was a racial issue. I mean, if you play football, if you play sports to the high level, things like this happen out of frustration.
And you get punished for them. Did John Elway get up and speak in that meeting?
Yes, he did. I mean, you know, John is our leader, and he said it better than anybody. He said, don't let it get to you. Don't let it divide us. You know, let's continue to stand on our road that we will continue, and that's why we're here today.
All right, 9 years to spend with the Chiefs. So you're used to chasing John Elway around. What's it like to be his teammate instead of playing against him?
Well, to be his teammate is great. I mean, you know, for so many years I chased this guy and sacked him for so many times, and now to be with him, you know, it was tough beating this guy. You know, I can count it on one hand that we beat him only maybe a few times, and only once in Denver. So it's great to be with him because I've seen the big playability that he have and how he can win ball games and when it's in his hand.
Yeah, you get the sense in the game Sunday that people are giving Elway and Davis that they're due, but the defense, that's where people are, well, can the Bronco defense hold up? That's where you're going to win or lose this game. Do you feel that way?
I think so. I think we have to have a great defensive game. I mean, we're playing against a great pack offense that moves the ball very efficiently. They have a great running game in Levitt, and they're pretty sound. We have to have a pretty much good game because if we don't, then you know, we can get embarrassed. But we didn't get to this point not playing great football and all great defense. We make things happen.
All right, Brett Favre, what have you seen on tape? What have people told you about him that you'll use in Sunday's game?
Well, I tell you, he's a phenomenal guy. I mean, you know, he's like John when John was young, and I played against John when I was young. He gonna bring you to another level because I think his big playability is why the Packers are so good. There's no doubt they have a great defense, they have a great offense, but being a leader for them, Brett Favre is somebody that you got to just finish. You got to continue to stay after this guy because you can want to say keep him in the pocket, but he's dangerous there, but he's more dangerous when he's moving. So I'll just get around him and crowd him is the best thing you probably say about this guy. 14-point
underdogs, what the Broncos have done to get to this point. Are you offended by that?
I think it's a slap in the face. I really don't think that it is out of all due respect. We've gotten this respect that we took the long, hard road to get here, and it wasn't easy. And we beat some great ball clubs at home. We beat great ball clubs on the road to get to this point. And I just think that people just sit back and, you know, sit behind the desk and never played the game before to really realize to say, hey, okay, they're 14-point underdogs, and now you just have to just go and just take it and keep going.
All right, the night before the game, we're going to wrap things up. When you go to sleep, your first Super Bowl, how relaxed, how nervous will you be?
Very nervous. I think every time the word Super Bowl has been said throughout this week, it gives you that nervous feeling in the stomach, and sometimes it cuts the appetite. I know myself, you would think 10 years in the league that you would be comfortable with not being scared or whatever, but you have those jitters just like anything else.
All right, well, good luck. I know you'll do well, and congratulations on making it to the big game. We'll talk to you later on.
Thanks a lot, buddy. Good seeing you.
Always a pleasure to have Neil Smith of the Broncos with us here on Up Close. Say hi to Letitia, your mom. I know she'll be here for the game, always rooting for you no matter where you play.